Hey guys, we're here at Headwaters Lake in Florida. Super windy day, post-spawn fish. Lake's got a bunch of giants. We got a Z-Man Sling Bladez, the new NRX Plus rods. I'm gonna show you how to catch some fish on a spinnerbait on these scattered clumpy grass, popping out of the grass, getting a lot of bites. Hey guys, Clausen here, Tackle Warehouse Pro. We're in Headwaters Lake in, I guess it's southeastern Florida, east central maybe. Anyway, we're gonna come check it out. It's my first time here. Pretty excited. Heard a lot of good things about it. Got a lot of big fish have been caught out of here this spring. Got a really windy day though. It's 15 to 25 out of the north, which in Florida everything's so flat, really affected by the wind. So we're gonna go figure things out as we go. Probably have to throw some moving baits a considerable amount and check out the lake. It's a pretty good sized lake and hopefully catch some big fish. So follow us, see how it goes throughout the day. I still got it on, but it's not very big. No. Oh yeah, I still got him. We caught one punching, a little bitty guy, like quite small, on the goat. Big weight, punching a little bit of hydrilla. Got a bite, but not the size we're looking for by any means. We're out here with the new NRX Plus rods from Loomis. Really incredible rods. I've had the benefit of using them for the last year or so as a prototype. We finally got some production models, and these rods are just unbelievable. I mean, they're really the best rod I've ever held in my hand. They're so light. They have a custom CI4 reel seat, so you're really on the blank. You can feel really good. We're using braid with it here. And a little one bites like that, it's almost startling. I think there's 28 rods in the line. It's SpiralX technology, so they're really lightweight. That's a big thing about them. It made them stronger. They can make the blank actually thinner, and they're stronger with that SpiralX technology, so they're so light. It increases the sensitivity incredibly from the old NRXs. It's got a hybrid guide train to even lighten it a little bit more. Just really awesome product. A lot of new rods out there for the NRX Plus line. It's going to end up replacing the NRX, and for good reason. It's the best rod I've ever held in my hand. There's a decent one. Nice. I saw him come out of the clump of grass and grab it. Oh no! He escaped me. I kind of short struck it at the boat there. Came up and saw the boat and turned, but the Sling Bladez, that bluegill color is a really good color when you get in Florida. Tannic water, they really like that bluegill color. Even in the spinnerbait, you know, throw a lot of chatterbaits in that color, but it's really good in the spinnerbait. And the NRX Plus 893, this is a kind of a high utility rod. It you can do so much stuff with it. I mean, I'll throw some chatterbaits on it, I'll throw a worm on it. There's times I'll throw a football head on it. You know, it's open water spinnerbait, and I like a little bit bigger spinnerbait rod in the open water, a little longer rod. I'll throw the spinnerbait rod, a little shorter one when you get around cover, but this open water, that 893 is a really good rod for it. And that NRX Plus is just so sensitive. It feels like you can feel every turn of the blade. There's another one. Feels like a decent one. Man, that one just smoked. I popped it off some grass. Oh, nice. It's not a giant, but it's not a little bitty one either. Yeah, the old Sling Bladez. That is one good spinnerbait right there. It's a 17.7 stainless wire, so it's really durable. We'll be able to catch a lot of fish on it. The custom blades, we made some custom blades for it that really vibrate a lot harder than a traditional Willow. So they're a little bit different shape. It's almost hard to tell, but they vibrate a lot harder. Tricked that one into biting. I'm excited to get out there and get another one. That 893 is just perfect rod for a spinnerbait when you're casting like that. that time. Oh man, that feels like a good one. Oh, come on, fish. Oh, it's not that big. I thought it was bigger than it just had me in the grass, but absolutely smoked it. Had me down that high drill. I thought it was a big one. That little sling blade's right there. I say little, it's a ½ ounce in the bluegill. That is one fish catching spinnerbait. That's a trailer I throw on a spinnerbait most of the time. It's a Z-Man Minnowz, super soft because elastic, really durable. I'll catch enough fish that probably ruin the spinnerbait before I ruin the trailer. That there is one really good spinnerbait trailer. It takes very little movement, has a lot of good action on it, especially in this cleaner water. Something with a paddle tail like that seems to get a lot more bites. Well, we made a little move. Came down the lake, came a little further south. I don't really know what's here, so we'll look around a little more of the lake and picked up a sling blades. We punched a bunch up there, thrown a chatterbait some, caught a couple little bitty ones, maybe one little bitty one. Anyway, came down here and picked up a spinnerbait, and I think we've caught two and lost one here in pretty short order. A little flat with some hydrilla, and it's a little bit deeper water. It's not as choked out as up there. There's a lot better holes in it, so it definitely looks a lot better. It appears to be a lot more fish. They're eating the spinnerbait. We've only went, geez, 100 yards and had 3 bites. Compared to this morning, it was kind of a struggle to even get a bite where we started up there, but there was an algae bloom. The grass just didn't look as good, and come down here and you can tell it looks a lot more right. So it feels good to be around some fish. We'll keep playing around out here a little bit and see if we can't figure out a way to catch a great big one. I don't know why we're catching all little ones now. Like, that's a really little one. They're all eating it. There's all kinds of fish out here. But we'd like to catch a big one. There's some giants in here. And I think you could catch one out here as easily as anywhere. You know, there's a lot of holes in this grass. Really an important thing to look for. That grass that has a nice clean holes. It generally has a little harder bottom. It gives them more ambush points to eat on prey and swim through. But also there's a lot of fish this time of year, there's bluegill starting to spawn. And grass with holes in it means the bottom's harder, a better place for those bluegill to spawn, more bait around. I'm sure a lot of these fish are recovering from the spawn. They want to be around a lot of bait right now. Feed back up after doing their deal. And when you're looking for grass this time of year, whether it's hydrilla, milfoil, the clumpier and more pockets in it, the better it is versus the stuff that's just matted up or really sparse. Just kind of evenly dispersed grass is generally the best in this open water, unless of course you're punching a mat or something like that. But this shallower grass like this, when it gets those nice clumps and holes, that's the right stuff. That's what they like to be in. It just helps them feed, and a lot more bait lives in it too. Oh, that was out open water. There's hardly even any grass. Another not very big one though. Seem to be getting smaller the more we come this way. You know, those fish bite when you're working that bait, popping it out of the grass. Really important with the spinnerbait, really any moving bait other than swim bait. I'm always popping it and moving it. Like here, a lot of times I'll slow it down and get it to load up in that grass and pop it free. And that's almost always when you get your bite. You just get so many more bites than just reeling it along steadily. Not a giant. He absolutely annihilated it. It's on that 893 again. This is a rod I throw in spinnerbait a lot in the open water. It's a JWR series, which this jig and worm rod is what it stands for, but that JWR bends very parabolically. So you get a lot of load lower in the rod. It's not a fast tip, so it's great for moving baits. It really just, you know, loads the whole rod where you're not really ripping it out of their face. So that JWR series rod, great for moving baits, but again, that's a rod I use for just about everything. You know, fishing a spinnerbait in this open water like this, I throw a lot longer rod than I do when you're around cover. I like something that's 7.3, 7.5, You can just pick up a lot more line, you're casting a lot further. And you know, that's kind of where I'm using the 893 here, but it goes the same for the reel. When I'm fishing around cover roll casting a spinnerbait, I throw a 6-to-1 ratio reel, something that's not going to pull it away from the fish as much. Now we get out here in this open water, I'm throwing a 7-to-1 because what's going to happen is I'm going to get bit a lot further away from the boat a lot of times, and I got to pick up a lot more slack. So it's just a different scenario fishing in open water like this, and I use a longer rod, a bigger reel, and those combined help you catch up to those fish a little bit more. You know, it's the line I'm using is a AbrazX. It's Seagar's AbrazX. It's really abrasion resistant line, and I throw it for a lot of reaction baits. It's just a really good all-around line when you're dragging your bait over stuff. You know, with reaction baits, you're always, whether it's a crankbait going across rocks or a spinnerbait going across grass, you need something that's going to have a lot of abrasion resistance, and that's the line I like. I'm throwing 15 here today. I just want to get my bait down a little bit. There are times with smaller spinnerbaits I may throw 12, and there's times in really heavy cover I'll throw 20. It just depends on the situation for what line I use, but anywhere between 12 and 20, 15 or a 17, really good all-around spinnerbait line. Most situations you'll be covered with that 15 or 17 pound line, and you're gonna be able to get them out of most stuff you throw a spinnerbait. But you up around really thick bushes, stuff like that, 20 pound AbrazX is hard to beat. I mean, you need something to get them out of there. It seems like a lot of times on a spinnerbait they want to go streaking sideways through whatever you're reeling your bait through. Little guy. There he is. For as small as he is, he really tried to eat it. Well, I think we should probably go back up to where we caught some more of those other ones. And, oh, there's one. That is not the size of bass we're looking for. Still fun, just not a giant. Yeah, we're gonna keep hunting for one. We'll find us a big one here somehow, some way. Feels like that's a decent fish there, unless he's got me in the grass. Jeez, that feels like a lot of grass. All that, and that's the fish we caught. Not a big one at all. Ugh. And he just gave me the fan of the tail, fanned my face with dirty water. GoPro highlight, clean release. There's one better one. Oh! Broke my spinnerbait. That was a gar, they just bit off my last spinnerbait. Okay, well, we're gonna call it good for there. We just hooked a big gar that got my last spinnerbait in that color. You know, it's been a fun day. We've had a lot of bites, caught a ton of fish. Feels like we've been jerking and snatching bass all day on that Sling Blades. I want to tell you a couple things about the Sling Blades. Really, it's a little bit of a unique spinnerbait. It's a 17/7 stainless wire, so it's really durable, but has a lot of flex. It's almost like a piano wire type spinnerbait, but it's a lot more durable. Custom blades, they're a lot flatter than a regular blade, so they actually hit a lot harder on the outside than a traditional willow leaf, what we see on a lot of spinnerbaits anyway. It has a StabiliTrack head design, really cool here. It channels water through here, so this bait runs true almost all the time. I mean, as long as your skirt's funneling over your trailer properly, it's gonna run true. It's a hand-tied skirt. custom O'Shaughnessy style hook, so you really don't have many fish jump off at all with that O'Shaughnessy style hook. But hand-tied skirt, some awesome colors. It's actually got a little bend in the wire here too, which prevents the wire from breaking the lead around the wire here. When you catch a bunch of fish, your bend points up here higher, and it sheds grass over the top of your head a lot better. Really a unique spinnerbait, the best spinnerbait I've ever thrown. Pretty fun bait to throw. It's been a fun day out here too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it. If you did, like, share, tag a friend, and make sure to get into the gear giveaways. Z-Man, Shimano, G Loomis, they're all giving away some awesome product. Tune in next week for the next vlog. We're gonna go try some more stuff out here, see if we can catch one of these Headwaters giants.